Hello interwebs, it's Scott from Admiralty Entertainment, and today we are looking at the Hot Wheels Star Wars Starships Partisan X-Wing Fighter. The Partisan X-Wing was first seen on screen in Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, albeit as a crashed wreck in the background on Jeddah. Other than that, it was so not appearing in this film, despite some truly awesome space battles in the third act. But when has that ever stopped Lucasfilm from being able to merchandise things? Looking at the packaging, this toy was released on a blister card with a nice big bubble to admire the vehicle through while still in package. There's a nice graphic of the X-Wing zooming through space, as opposed to the only time we saw it in the film. And a Star Wars Rogue One logo, as opposed to Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. I personally prefer it the way the packaging presents it. There's a nameplate designating it as a Partisan X-Wing Fighter, and a call out that it includes a flight stand, which is clearly visible in the bubble above it. We also get a relatively small Hot Wheels Starships logo, which does pop nicely thanks to the bright colours on the mostly blue, black, white colour scheme of the card. The back of the card repeats the Star Wars Rogue One logo, has the nameplate again, and a cross-sell of 6 other ships in this assortment, along with instructions of how to assemble the X-Wing on the flight stand, a beauty shot of the completed ensemble, and enough legalese to choke an Exegorth.
Oh, damn it!
What is it?
I never get a spaceship, never! I never get anything!
Out of the package, the X-Wing looks pretty darn cool. While it may just be a repaint of the standard Incom T65B X-Wing mould, the colour scheme is striking and adds an interesting new shade to your X-Wing squadrons. Unfortunately, the S-foils are static, locked permanently in attack position, which, for me, is a strike against the playability. But at least they're moulded open, rather than moulded closed. Hear that, Hasbro Hero Series X-Wing? I'm not bitter, you're bitter. The body of the fighter is die-cast, while the wings are plastic, but each part carries an acceptable level of moulded detail. After all, this is a Hot Wheels, not a studio model replica. The stand assembles easily enough and looks quite nice with a frosted Rebel Alliance crest on the base. The display arm almost looks like it should be articulated, but it isn't. Deal with it. Attaching the display stand to the X-Wing is simple, just clip it in and your X-Wing isn't going anywhere. Overall, Hot Wheels Starships is a relatively inexpensive line, and that's reflected in the final product here. Hasbro's Titanium series offered higher quality, but in the absence of that line, this is perfectly acceptable as shelf filler or for zooming around the room. Great for kids, while probably only more acceptable level for collectors, though balanced against the relatively low price point and the lack of other options for Star Wars vehicles in this sort of scale, it's worth a pick up if you want to build your X-Wing squadrons with some unique decos, or if you can get it cheap. Given the general obscurity of it in the canon, the Partisan X-Wing likely won't be the centerpiece of anybody's display, but it certainly is a nice addition to one. So, those are my thoughts on the Hot Wheels Star Wars Starships Partisan X-Wing. What are yours? Do you like the Partisan colour scheme? Does the lack of articulated wings kill your enthusiasm? Or is the niche nature of the vehicle just too much for you to care either way? Let us know. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Admiralty Entertainment.